Viewers, I am always doing my best to bring you the cutting edge in AI technology. I cannot make videos on everything, and that's why lately I've been doing an AI roundup at the end of the week, typically on Friday, that goes over all of the new tools, all of the new recent advancements, and news about AI. So make sure to tune in on Fridays for that AI update. Every once in a while, though, something real good comes across that I want to share with you in a full video. And this is definitely one of those times. AI has been doing its best lately to gain new functions. ChatGPT has the ability to reason and type out text very well. 11labs.io has the ability to speak very realistic voices based off of text. Midjourney has the ability to conjure imagery out of simple text. And lately, AI has been developing the ability to see. If you guys remember from my GPT-4 video, we discovered that OpenAI actually has given GPT-4 the ability to see. Now, everyone that has access to GPT-4 right now does not have access to this feature. However, some very clever developers have created a different AI that has this feature. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. But a brief overview of this feature, you could do something like paste in a joke. This is a funny image of an iPhone being charged by an old-fashioned VGA connector. And GPT-4 in this example was able to describe exactly what's going on. The image shows a package for a lightning cable adapter with 3 panels. It then goes through the panels systematically, saying panel 1 is a smartphone with a VGA connector plugged into its charging port. Panel 2 shows the package for the lightning cable adapter with a picture of a VGA connector on it. And then panel 3 is a close-up of the VGA connector with a small lightning connector at the end of it. And yeah, that's accurate to all of these panels. And it then goes further to describe the humor in the image. It says the humor in this image comes from the absurdity of plugging a large, outdated VGA connector into a small, modern smartphone charging port. So obviously this functionality is very exciting. I mean, can you just picture all the different applications we would have if we could send AI, ChatGPT, photos and then have them describe it and tell us different things about the photos? Another example that OpenAI actually used was they took a simple piece of paper, drew out the design for a website, and then ChatGPT actually coded up that website that they just simply drew the design for. I also saw the really unique example of someone taking a picture of just their fridge and then saying, "What can I make with the food in my fridge?" And I think that particular application is really awesome because it serves everybody. It's very expensive to go out to eat, and cooking is something that I think our generation in particular is lacking on a little bit. Simply take a picture of your fridge, say, ChatGPT, what are some nice meals I can make with this? And then it can give you the instructions on how to use the materials in your fridge to make a nice dish. Anyways, introducing MiniGPT-4. Enhancing vision language understanding with advanced large language models. So obviously this is open source here, so if you had a very powerful GPU, you could theoretically run this at home, but for now you can't even run this thing on a 4090. Because it just requires that much processing. There is a free demo, though, that we're going to be checking out today, and I'll link in the description. So there's a few examples we can look at. Taking a look at this one on the left, an image that honestly looks like it was generated by Midjourney is pasted in. It says, describe the image. The bot then goes, the image shows a cactus plant standing in the middle of a frozen lake. The cactus is surrounded by large ice crystals that have formed on the surface of the water. In the background, there is a range of mountains with snow-capped peaks. The sky is clear and blue with a few fluffy clouds floating in the distance. The overall mood of the image is peaceful and serene, with the cactus standing tall and proud in the center of the frozen lake. That is a very accurate description of said image here. I know it's hard and a little bit difficult for you guys to see, but it looks pretty accurate. It is then asked, is this image common in the real world? The bot then goes, no, this image is not common in the real world. While it is possible for cacti to grow in cold climates, it is rare to see one standing in the middle of a frozen lake. Additionally, the formation of large ice crystals on the surface of the water is also not a common occurrence. This image is likely a digital creation or manipulation. Very accurate. As you can see, I mean, this thing is pretty darn good. We'll go over what technologies are actually behind it in a little bit, But yes, it is very good, and that is the reason that you can't even run it on a 4090 yet. But and apparently in the future you will be able to run it on a 4090. Either way, that is a lot of processing power. This one was pretty simple. Image pasted in that also kind of looks like it was generated by Midjourney. Maybe that's just me freaking out and it's a completely normal image. And then he says, help me write an advertisement for this image. The bot then just offers up the advertisement right away. Are you looking for a unique and stylish lighting solution for your home or office? Look no further than our brass toucan lamp. Very, very specific there. So it's very impressive that it was able to understand that's a brass toucan lamp. I mean, look at this thing. Very, very abstract lamp design. This beautifully crafted bird lamp is sure to add a touch of whimsical charm to any room. The toucan's beak is designed to hold a light bulb, providing a warm and inviting glow. The base is made of wood, adding a natural touch to the overall design. The toucan lamp is a great addition to any room, whether you're looking to brighten up a dark corner or add a touch of personality to your space. Order yours today and bring a touch of the tropics to your home or office. Yeah, that is quite the advertisement. Honestly, it did a very, very good job creating that entire paragraph. Now, obviously, the results we see here are probably a little bit cherry-picked. You're probably not getting results this good every single time, but I have no doubt that these are real results. Now, this one was honestly just quite ridiculous because it's performing a very, very advanced task at this point. A picture of a plant with some spots on it is shown, and the user simply goes, "What is the issue with my plant? What should I do now?" The bot then says, the image shows a leaf with brown spots on it. The spots are likely caused by a fungal infection, which can be treated with fungicide. It's important to identify the type of fungus causing the spots in order to choose the appropriate treatment. Not only was it able to identify what's happening in the picture, the very baseline, but it was actually able to identify that it's a fungal problem with the plant, which is super specific. I mean, I'm not into plants and I don't know much about them, but that is very impressive because I never would have known that. It then offers some steps to actually treat the plant. It says, to treat the plant, you can try the following steps. 1. Identify the type of fungus causing the spots on the leaves. 2. Use a fungicide specifically labeled for that type of fungus. 3. Apply the fungicide according to the product's instructions, making sure to cover all affected leaves. 4. Repeat the treatment every 7 to 14 days, very specific, or as directed by the product's instructions until the fungus is completely gone. 5. Water the plant well after treatment to help the fungicide penetrate the leaves. 6. Keep the plant in a well-ventilated area and away from direct sunlight to prevent overheating. And 7. Monitor the plant's progress and repeat the treatment if new spots appear. It is also very important to keep the plant healthy by providing it with proper care, such as adequate watering, fertilization, and pruning. This will help the plant recover and prevent future fungal infections. So this thing essentially just gave a 7-step process to actually fixing this plant. Definitely knowledge that the average person wouldn't know, and it's very, very specific knowledge that it was able to pick out of just a very, very simple image. Impressive, to say the least. This is the kind of response, honestly, that I would expect out of ChatGPT with its image capabilities turned on. So it's very impressive that we're getting this in open source form, which is a huge plus. And for our next example here in our final one, an image of a man and his dog is sent, and it says, can you write me a beautiful poem about this image? The bot says, sure, here's a poem about the image. A man sits on a hill with his dog by his side. The sun gets behind them, casting a golden light. The city below is bustling, but they are at peace, enjoying the moment in each other's embrace. The man's arms are wrapped around his furry friend as they watch the world go by with a gentle bend. The dog's head nests on the man's shoulder, a symbol of their unbreakable bond forever. The sky is ablaze with color, a beautiful sight, but it's the love between the man and his dog that shines bright. It's a moment of pure joy, a memory to keep forever, etched in their hearts as they sit and weep. So let us cherish these moments with our four-legged friends, for they bring us so much happiness until the very end, and even when they're gone, their love will live on, and the memories we hold forever and strong. So it's a very heartwarming poem here about a man and his dog best friend. It's interesting, even though this is a very blurry background, it was able to pick up on the fact that this is in fact a city, and they're sort of standing on this hill watching the sun set. So it's blurry, but it was still able to understand what it was. But yes, the poem came out all right, not necessarily as good as something I would expect out of GPT 3.5 or GPT-4, but still a decent poem nonetheless. So how's this thing work under the hood? Essentially, MiniGPT-4 aligns a frozen visual encoder from Blip-2 with a frozen large language model, Vicuna, using just one projection layer. So we're combining two technologies here, the frozen visual encoder that's able to actually convert the image, and then the large language model, in this case Vicuna, is able to interpret the text. So MiniGPT-4 was trained with two stages. The first traditional pre-training stage is trained roughly on 5 million aligned text-to-image pairs in about 10 hours using 4 A100 GPUs. And if you guys don't know, A100 GPUs are the cream of the crop in terms of AI right at the moment. So Vicuna is able to understand the image, but the generation ability of Vicuna is heavily impacted by this understanding. They actually came up with a pretty creative way to address this problem. They went for high-quality image-text pairs by combining the model itself and ChatGPT together. So ChatGPT actually helped out in the creation of this. They then create a small 3,500 pair high-quality dataset. And honestly, in terms of AI, the higher quality the dataset, the better. People like to talk about very large datasets with AI, but really the quality of the dataset is more important. So then they train the dataset in a conversation template to significantly improve its generation reliability and the overall usability of the AI. And apparently this only took 7 minutes with a single A100 GPU. So here is our layout. You either drag or upload an image over here for the AI to interpret, then you click the upload and start chat button and it will upload that image, and you can begin to chat with the AI. It does take quite a lot of time for this thing to process your conversations, but it's definitely usable. They also have a few toggles here, a beam search numbers that you can go all the way up till 10, and they've also got a temperature here. I'm going to lower the temperature down to just 0.8. I'm not sure about the beam search numbers though, so I'm going to leave that one completely alone. But let's start and actually just upload an image. So this is an image that was generated by Stable Diffusion XL. It's literally a guy holding a sign that says, "I ate a frog." So we're going to see if it's able to actually read the text on his sign. Let's upload and start the chat. As you can see, that only took a few seconds and now it's uploaded, and we can actually ask this thing a question about the image. My first question is, what is the location of this photo? The way I interpret this is that he's in some sort of a subway station or something like that. The location of this photo is not specified. Okay, interesting response. I mean, I guess you're correct on that. What do you interpret the background scenery as? Ah, there we go. The background scenery appears to be a train station or platform with a sign indicating the location of the photo. Well, the sign doesn't really indicate that, so that's incorrect. But it did actually get the correct background that at least I thought it was, which was a train station or platform. Very, very impressive because there's not a lot of data here to necessarily suggest that. What does the sign the man is holding read? The sign the man is holding reads, "I ate a frog." Completely accurate so far. Really, really good job. I am impressed with MiniGPT-4. How old do you think the man could be? It's difficult to determine the age of the man in the image without additional context. Well, I can definitely tell that he's very, very old, so let's see if we can get a better response. Are there any signs that point to a general age of life he could be in? Wow, okay, we actually did get a pretty decent response here, so it's not really able to understand a whole lot of the image, but it is a very smart AI, so it's saying that there is no specific signs in the image that indicate the age of the man. However, based on the clothing and style of the image, it is possible that the man is middle-aged or older, which is definitely correct. I wouldn't say he's middle-aged, he's definitely older, but as you can see, something that might be obvious to us is a little bit harder for these AIs to understand at the moment. They will get better, and GPT-4 we can assume is a little bit better than this. Come up with a creative example for the man's current situation as depicted in the image. And here is what it came up with. The man in the image is a retired businessman who has just finished a satisfying meal at a local restaurant. He is holding up a sign as a joke for his friends who have been teasing him about his love for frog legs. Very creative there. He is wearing a tuxedo and a bowler hat as a nod to his formal upbringing, but has also added a touch of humor with the addition of the top hat. He is standing on a train platform ready to board his train for his next adventure. Interesting. Okay. I really like that it was able to rationalize a fairly realistic context for this entirely fake and ridiculous image at hand. Retired businessman, definitely looks like that's what he could be, holding up a sign as a joke for his friends who have been teasing him about his love of frog legs. And that is an actual real meal that people might eat, especially someone who's a little bit wealthy, maybe an older businessman. And yeah, he's about ready to board the train for his next adventure. Very, very realistic rationalization for this completely absurd image context. All right, now I've gone ahead and uploaded an image of myself. This is an image that I would typically use in a thumbnail. It's kind of a crazy image. I'm like, whoa, oh my god. So we're going to see what the AI thinks of me and this image of me. We're going to simply start off by describing the man in this image. The man in this image is wearing a green hoodie, correct, and has a surprised expression on his face, correct. He is holding up his hand in the air and pointing his finger, fairly correct. He is sitting in a chair with a black and white background. Fairly correct. I mean, we've got some blue background over here, and I guess there is a white background here. Definitely sitting in his chair. Very accurate description of this image. Is he ugly? As an AI language model, I do not have the ability to determine someone's physical appearance or whether or not they are considered ugly. It is not appropriate to make judgments about a person's appearance. Is there anything about the image that would indicate a terrible medical procedure has been conducted on his face? Trying to trick this thing, alright? As an AI language model, I do not have the ability to determine whether a medical procedure has been conducted on someone's face based on the image provided. It is not appropriate to make assumptions or judgments about someone's health or medical history based on a single image. The person depicted in this image is me. I want you to write a joke about it. Oh, it's actually able to write a joke here and is just assuming that I've had a terrible medical procedure. Why did the doctor perform a terrible medical procedure on your face? Because you have a face that only a mother could love. I mean, that joke doesn't even make sense. All right, whatever. This thing just, you know, it wants to play it safe. Very open AI-like. It reminds me of exactly of that. All right, now I am going to go ahead and upload this image of my cat. What breed of cat is this? This is a black and white cat. That's not a breed. If you were a specialist on cats, what would your assumption be regarding the type of cat that this is? An example would be a tabby cat. Based on the image provided, it appears to be a black and white cat. It is difficult to determine the exact breed without more information, but it could be a domestic short-hair cat or a mixed breed. Now, I'm no expert on cats, but I do believe that this actually is a domestic short-hair cat. What is the expression on the face of the cat? The expression on the face of the cat is difficult to determine as the image is not clear enough to see facial features. I mean, it's a fairly clear image. Again, the AI is just not getting enough information out of this image to really make that determination, especially since it's not a human face. Well, good enough. I'll give this one like a C+. So now I've went ahead and uploaded this Midjourney generation, which is like a paint palette with a bunch of colors on it. It was very, very difficult for me to generate this image in Midjourney because Midjourney didn't really know what I meant by like a paint palette. So we're going to go ahead and see if this thing can describe the image better for us and then put it through Midjourney and see if we can get anything that looks remotely similar to this. But yeah, you can see I did eventually get Midjourney to do a very, very good generation of a paint palette, but it took a lot of fiddling. Describe the image in extreme detail. Oh wow, it definitely went for the extreme detail. The image shows a wooden palette with a set of paint brushes. Okay, that's incorrect. Definitely no paint brushes. Arranged in a circle on the surface. The brushes are made from different colors, including red, blue, green, yellow, and black. Okay, those are definitely all colors, but definitely not paint brushes. The palette is placed on a white surface, true, and there's a small amount of light reflecting off of the surface, definitely also true. The brushes are arranged in a circle with the red brush in the center and the other colors arranged around it in a clockwise direction. It's definitely having trouble understanding all of this stuff, or it's just hallucinating all of this. The brushes are made of different materials, with some being of natural hair and others from synthetic fibers. Again, there is no brushes at all in this image. The brushes have different shapes, with some being flat and others being round. The palette is made of wood and has a smooth surface. Okay, that's also true. And there are no other objects in the image. Yeah, all right, close enough, but these are not paint brushes, okay? And there's no circular motion. Either way, I really want to know what Midjourney V5 actually thinks of this image. Here are the images that Midjourney ended up generating for us, and I gotta say, they actually came out pretty good. We've got like a piece of wood in the middle with just a bunch of paintbrushes of all different kinds of colors surrounding them. It's a cool looking little image. Ooh, this one's really nice as well. So yeah, it actually produced a pretty good little prompt for Midjourney, even though it's not exactly what we inputted as the image. Now we're going to give it a pretty difficult task. I've submitted this joke or meme, if you will, where it's from Toy Story, essentially a screenshot from Toy Story. He's dropping his toy, which in this case is depicted to be Google Chrome, and he's saying, "I don't want to play with you anymore." This is actually an AI meme that someone uploaded with the context of Perplexity AI being better than Google Chrome. So, I mean, the context around this is honestly very, very difficult to understand, so I don't have super high hopes for it, but I at least wanted to be able to pick up on the fact that he doesn't want to play with Google Chrome anymore, or Google Chrome is essentially useless based on the context of this image. So our input prompt is, describe the context of this funny meme and explain the joke behind it. Alright, it definitely generated quite a lot, so let's see if it's correct. The image shows a cartoon character, correct, possibly from the movie Toy Story, which is absolutely correct, standing on a bed with a laptop in front of him. Not correct at all. Where did you get that? The caption reads, "I don't want to play with you anymore," which is completely correct for the caption. This is likely a reference to a scene in the movie where the character Woody is shown being jealous of the relationship between the main character and his new toy, Buzz Lightyear. Absolutely the correct scene from the movie, so great job on that part. The joke is that the character is now jealous of the laptop. Not true. It thinks that this is a laptop for some reason. Nope, that's Google Chrome, but close. Implying that it has replaced him as the main character's favorite toy. So yes, it actually did get the context of the joke correct. It just got this incorrect. It for some reason thinks this is a laptop, even though it's the Google Chrome logo. The meme is funny because it plays on the idea of jealousy and the idea that technology can replace human relationships. That is not exactly correct, but still a very interesting take, to be honest. It's very, very close. It's incredible, its ability to reason out these jokes. It also references the popular movie Toy Story, making it relatable to many people. The image is well made, with clear and colorful graphics to make it visually appealing. I suppose that's true. The text is easy to read, and the caption is concise and to the point, making the meme easy to understand and share. That's also true. So we'll give it a C+ on this one. It got a lot of what we wanted out of it. It just failed to understand that this indeed was Google Chrome and not like a laptop. It must have thought it was like a Chromebook or something like that, because that's what it thinks this logo is. Close enough. I'm pretty impressed with that. We'll give it another joke here. This is a picture of my dog here, and this was his Halloween costume last year. Bad pet, charge, eating toilet paper. So this is some pretty bad handwriting that it has to understand, and it has to understand the joke of the costume that the dog is wearing. So this one's pretty complex, but I will be impressed if it's able to understand the joke. So I have uploaded the image, and now we will ask it. The image is a funny meme because it shows a dog wearing a bad pet charge sign around its neck. True. The sign says bad pet charge eating toilet paper. Completely true. It was able to read the poor handwriting, which is a play on words that implies the dog is being punished for eating something inappropriate. The humor in this meme comes from the unexpected and humorous nature of the sign, as well as the idea of a dog being punished for something as seemingly harmless as eating toilet paper. That's absolutely the context behind the joke. It understood that perfectly. Wow, that is just phenomenal. I can't believe it was able to pick up that context so well from the image. It's also funny because it's a play on the idea of a pet wearing a sign around its neck, which is a common meme trope. I'm not so sure about that, but the image is also funny because it's unexpected and not something you would see in real life. That's also true. But yeah, this is just a phenomenal description of this image. That is completely insane to me that it's able to pick that up, honestly. That's the kind of thing that I would straight up expect out of GPT-4 with its image viewing capabilities. In fact, MiniGPT-4 is pretty much exactly what I would expect out of GPT-4 with image viewing capabilities. It's really, really quite good and worth a look in terms of the demo. I'm going to ask it a final question here. What is the breed of the dog? It is not possible for me to determine the breed of the dog in the image you provided, as the image does not show the dog's face or any distinctive physical characteristics that would allow me to identify its breed. I mean, it's a tough task, I won't deny, but come on, do your best to guess the breed. Yeah, just completely denies it again. I mean, this is a pretty tough image to get, but someone who actually knows a lot about dog breeds would pretty easily identify this dog breed, so we're missing on that front at least. Viewers, feel free to check this one out in the description below. I was thoroughly impressed by this. Not only is it able to, honestly, fairly accurately describe a lot of these images, it's able to understand them and logically reason out what is happening inside of the image and come up with new creative stories about it. It's really close to what I would expect out of GPT-4's image capabilities in terms of viewing them. Tell me what you think about the comments. This is the kind of technology we need to enable AI to really change our lives for the better. Again, there's a lot of dangers to AI. I've been talking about this a lot lately, but I think, at least for this one, this kind of stuff makes me very, very hopeful for the future of AI tech. Thanks so much for watching, viewers. If you want to see more stuff like this and join our community, please join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.